Welcome back, folks. This is the second episode of NYCFA. And I'm Lily. As somebody who dabbles with urban architecture and design, I have found that New York City is a breeding ground for every issue under the sun that pertains to this interest. My teacher challenged me and all of my classmates to find creative ways and spaces to act as temporary or affordable housing for unhoused people or low-income people. And at first I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? But then she specified to use our imagination. So, say less. With 2 weeks of time before the deadline, I began to ask everyone and their mother if they knew any vacant spaces. Luckily, when I was in the elevator with my buddy Jack, he said,
I think there's a vacant parking garage near Hudson Yards.
So I roped in anybody willing to help me. This is Myrrh. We journeyed the High Line, and when we got close to the vessel, I had yet to see a space I felt was feasible to build around. Until I got to the very end. Jackpot. Unfortunately, we forgot a tape measure, and so we measured the width with this broom pole. So from my calculations, it was 9.7 brooms wide, and with a little give and take, I'm gonna say that it was 10. And I'm gonna say that the broom was 5 feet tall. And so I'm saying that the width of this is 50 feet. According to Google Maps, I would be correct. And also according to Google Maps, it is 443 feet deep. The height of the High Line is 30 feet tall, so 30 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 443 is 664,500 cubic feet. The cheapest market unhoused pod created by a USC student is 92 square feet at its base. That means if you stacked all of these together like Legos, you could fit 1,104 units under this one vacant space. But we didn't stop here.
Wait, I think I know what parking lot they're talking about.
I followed her to the plot she knew, and apparently it's the Hudson Tunnel project that's been in the works for over 10 years now. Knowing this information immediately sparked my idea. Not only could we use this vacant plot, but other plots like it. We could create a movable compound on wheels on these construction sites that have been vacant for several years because of New York's money problems and people in positions of power, but alas, we are here. If we go with the same pod plan and make it quasi-realistic by adding 10 feet to the width and 5 feet to the length, we could fit 219 individuals on this one plot. Though that doesn't include the amenities that I was thinking would go right in the middle. My question now is this even feasible? The site is obviously lacking money. How would we acquire any more? Alright, let's break it down. If we add in 6 trailer pods with basic communal amenities, realistically that would only leave room for about 180 pods. That means that 6 groups of 30 people will have access to a bed and basic amenities. The purchasing of 180 pods would map out to be $5.2 million. Right now, in the city, there is a federal fund allocated from the Department of Housing and Urban Development and a New York State Homeless Assistance Fund. With literal specified funds to go to this type of crisis, I feel as though it should go to this crisis. In 2021, New York was short 340,000 homes. This is a crisis. I feel as though by starting small with this plot of land, the mobility of the compound can act as a buffer and temporary fix for the housing crisis that New York is facing.